Cortez's Buried. Truthfully speaking, Buried has one of the most simplistic plots that I could describe to you. It could be summarized in a sentence. A man wakes up in a coffin and tries to find his way out. Easy as that. But when a plot has a very simplistic core to itself, the surrounding elements need to go at 150, whether it be the direction, the camera work, the script, and the acting. And all of them come in full swing. You simply couldn't talk about Buried without talking about I was going to say leading man, but he is the only person that you visibly see in the entire film, played by Ryan Reynolds. This came out in 2010. This was before he became the Ryan Reynolds that we know today, who's done Deadpool. This was even before Green Lantern. Prior to Buried, he did smaller comedies and was primarily known for his comedic talent. So this was territory that he had not done before. I say this because when I tell you this is Ryan Reynolds' greatest performance, I not only mean that, but I also stand by this is one of the greatest performances I've ever seen. It is very easy for us as audience members to disregard the performances of actors who carry the entire weight of a film on their shoulders. A primary example I can think of is Will Smith in I Am Legend, but with him, he has an open world to play with. I'm certainly not trying to disregard Will Smith's acting prowess in I Am Legend because he is phenomenal, but he has people to work off of, a world to bounce from. Ryan Reynolds is stuck in a coffin. He has a phone in which he contacts certain people, but it's just him that you visibly see in these 90 minutes. He is the only thing that carries us, whether it be through the anxiety he feels, the anger, the sadness, the fear. He conveys 1,000 different emotions at different variations in this small runtime. And it makes me sad because Ryan Reynolds gives a tremendous role that I've never forgotten, but he hasn't been able to reclaim that depth since. And it's certainly something that I feel is happening a lot in Hollywood, where actors are picked specifically for a certain trait about themselves. I can think of The Rock in many roles that he's done in the past decade, singularly being chosen for his physicality rather than his acting, and he's a great actor. If you look back on his earlier works, he gives a lot. Same thing with Reynolds in comedy. A lot of the films he's done, like Deadpool, like Free Guy, which are great, are centered around his comedic moments, but this film showcases he is one of the best actors who can deliver drama, who can deliver fear, who can deliver the claustrophobia that a man stuck in a coffin, unknowing of his surroundings, would give. That is something I will certainly have to warn each of you. This is a very claustrophobic film. It is something that I felt tense. I had to pause it on multiple times because the writing elevates the claustrophobia, but the camera work, the direction, and Reynolds gives it something of a whole entire world in that coffin, but it is secluded to the max. Now, I really can't tell you that there has ever been a more isolated film that I have watched. The script really lends itself for quite a few twists and different directions that it goes throughout the entire movie. And when you rewatch the film especially, you'll pick up on some subtleties that you wouldn't have watched the first time. And I think that's the best thing about a film, is its rewatchability factor. And Reynolds alone is worthy of a watch. He gives a career-defining performance that I'm so sad has fallen on deaf ears. And this is the kind of movie that I've made my channel around. Smaller films that I love, that have impacted me, that I don't think a lot of people have seen, and I can put you guys on. It is such a simplistic idea, but it's within the execution of Rodrigo Cortez, the camera work that sends you like you are neck and neck with Reynolds in this coffin. There is nothing like it. The ending alone is something that will resonate with you long after you finished. It is something that needs to be discussed, talked about, and if you didn't see it with anyone, drop it down in the comments what you thought of the ending. It is a sucker punch. Although the plot is a simplistic one to grasp, I'm never going to undermine the amount of detail that has to be put, because you got to imagine a film with different settings and different landmarks to travel towards. You have a versatility in the visual medium, but with a movie entirely in a coffin, you have to find ways to light certain scenes, to make the camera flow in unique ways, to not make it stale within that 90 minutes. The colors have to be unique in certain ways, and it grasps you visually. And even though you can't have a neon rave in a coffin, it can't be one of the most visually stunning films you've ever seen. Reynolds' performance carries it and offers something that I can almost guarantee none of you have seen. So with that being said, direction from a first-time director that is fantastic, camera work that flows, gives claustrophobia, lends itself into shots that show the isolation in many unique ways, a really good score that has you pulse beating, and an ending that will leave you thinking long after it's over. You have to check it out. It is the perfect spooky time watch, and if anything, check it out for Ryan Reynolds' career-topping performance. And as always, let me know what you thought of the video